Welcome to the Gen Z Marketer podcast, where we have marketing conversations and everything in between. Here we talk about marketing, branding, e commerce, and the power of integrated marketing communication. I'm your host, Jamia O'Malley, a strategist passionate and specializing in branding and marketing for e commerce. We're now at the peak season of the holidays. So, other than the festivities, this also means that we're hustling to meet our quotas, be profitable, and make sure that we're meeting the demands of our consumers. This is the season for promos, and in a highly cluttered market, how do you select which promos are the right fit? So, how do you conceptualize your marketing campaigns? I'll be sharing with you some tips and tricks I learned on promo planning and conceptualizing in this MarkeTips episode. So before we get to it, don't forget to support the show by following the podcast to get notified on the latest uploads. I will also have a follow-up episode related to this next week, so you better click on that follow button. Now, let me share with you the tips. First things first, what you need to do is to have a situational analysis. So evaluate your current situation. So what's your inventory? Which are your slow or fast moving SKUs? So what products do you want to highlight, right? What products do you want to get rid of? So you also need to identify these goals and objectives. So of course you need to rationalize and write everything down. And then once you identify your current situation, your goals and objectives, you also need to look on your consumer behavior. Your target customer, what their preferences are, their likes and dislikes, where they get engaged, and where they get their information. So this will help you identify who you want to target, what kind of promo would they like, and which channels should you focus your marketing and advertising campaigns. So now that you looked at the situation and of course your customers, next you need to identify your opportunities. So do your competitor checks, observe their social media. Like, are they giving hints to what their promos are? What kind of SKUs do they have? So you identify the gaps in the market. What else are the other people not doing? As much as you want to, follow the status quo or follow your competitors, you still need to identify the gaps or opportunities because this is how you differentiate yourself in a cluttered market because there's going to be a lot of promos. So you need to make yours more appealing compared to the others. Next, we'll talk about, or you need to identify now, your promo options. So there are a lot of promos that you can pursue, a lot of different efforts you can do. So first you can do your discounts. You can give percentage or specific amount based discounts, but our recommendation is to make the price specific, your markdown specific, because the thing with percentage discounts or percentage promos, your customers would have to compute it in their mind. So what does 30% mean? How much does it cost? What does 15% mean? Like, how does that translate? Make it easy for your customers to see the value of the promo or how much they're saving by making sure that they see how much the discounted price is or specifying how much the discount is. Because if you say 100 off, it's easier to compute, it's easier to make sense of rather than saying 15 or 25% off. Next, another promo strategy is GWP or gifts with purchase. This is basically your freebies, having a minimum amount spent to get promos or to get a freebie rather, or to get a gift that you need to make sure that this gift or this freebie is enticing and appealing. Otherwise, if it's something that's not, encouraging or appetizing, people will not spend much to get that gift. And next you have your upselling or cross-selling strategies. So this is more of in the algorithm or how you structure your marketplace or website promos wherein you recommend related products or encourage people to complete like a set of related products. So these are just some strategies or the most common strategies that we do to encourage the increase in basket size and at the same time make your promo simple and at the same time appealing to customers. So you need to think of which promos you want to do. You can do everything, you can do one. It really depends on yourself, on your capacity, as what you said when you did your situational analysis. What can you do, right? Next, of course, once you've identified all of these things, you come up with your IMC plan or your integrated marketing plan. So what channels are you going to maximize? Are you doing Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, influencers? Are you doing Google ads? You need to think of and identify which channels and what platforms you're going to use. And then once you identified the channels and the platforms, you need to develop your assets, your visual assets, your photos, your videos, and of course the copies. You need to identify your captions, your text, and then at the same time your UTM links, or when you want to track some promos or links, you need to also prepare those. And then, of course, the last thing you need to do once you've done everything else in the planning, of course, you need to check everything before the campaign. You need to make sure your stocks are in order and you need to make sure your promos are right. Why? Because I've had experiences wherein the promo you put in online is wrong or the discounted price is wrong. So the consequence is, sometimes I've had this experience wherein the product is supposed to be, let's say, 50 pesos, but it became 20 pesos. So that's an issue, right? Because you're going to have losses in sales. So you need to make sure that everything is running smoothly. You need to check everything before the actual campaigns, which is your 11/11, your 12/12. You need to check everything before you go live. So it's already the last week of October. Therefore, you need to really hustle. You really need to make sure that your promos are in order for these big campaigns such as 11/11 and 12/12. And a reminder to sum up everything we talked about, the key to planning is to doing research for you to make a sound decision and then analyzing your capabilities and limitations and coming up with a tailor-fit strategy that makes sense for you and your customers. So you need to identify the right promo for the right people and choose the right channels to convey your message and then convert them. So what did you think about this episode? What topics do you want me to talk about next? Or do you want to collaborate? Let me know at the Gen Z Marketer Podcast on Facebook, at Gen Z MKT on Instagram, and at www.genzmkt.com.